Hi and welcome to this video. This is the third video of modifying data with Pandas. And in the previous video, we talked about how to convert one currency to another using the apply function and using the lambda function inside the apply function. The good thing about apply function is you can also call regular functions inside this lambda function. So let me just show you another example. Here in this example, I created a new function called convert price. And in this function, what I do is take any value in the price column and divide it by 74 and then add 1.28 to the price and return the new price. So this is the function that we have defined, which is called convert. Instead of just calling the lambda x inside the apply function, we also convert function in the apply function and we create a new column called item MRP in USD updated. And then we assign the results of this code to this new column. And let's run this piece of code. And when you run this piece of code, you will notice that you have another column in your data. So let's run this data head. And now when you scroll, you will see that a new column called item MRP in USD updated is a new column in the dataset. And all the changes that you performed on this, that is dividing by 74 and adding 1.28, all has been updated in this column. So this is the advantage of using apply function on columns of your data. You can either write a simple logic using the lambda construct here, like we do, dividing x by 74, or you can write a complex function here and call that function inside the lambda function. And apply will make sure that this function has been applied to every value of this column. Coming to another challenge that we have. So as you already know that our dataset has a lot of categorical columns. But when we are working with machine learning problems and when we are doing modeling, for machine learning algorithms, we cannot give categorical input as text itself. We need to convert these categorical inputs to some numbers like 0 or 1 or 2. And this is something known as one-hot encoding in the field of data science. So suppose you have this gender column, male, female, male, and male, and you create two new columns. One is male and one is female. So what you are going to do here is you are going to give 1 if the input is male and 0 otherwise for the male column. For the female column, if the input is female, you give 1 and otherwise 0. So first input is male, therefore male column gets the value of 1 and female column gets the value of 0. Second input is female, therefore male column is 0 and female column is 1, and so on. So that's how you encode your entire dataset. So that for one categorical column, you have two columns, one for each category. This is something that you can easily achieve in Pandas using the getDummies function. So let's see how to do that. First of all, let's have a look at our dataset again. So we have currently 14 columns in our data. And a lot of columns like item identifier, item fed content, item type, etc. have categorical values. So if you want to create one-hot encoding for each categorical column, in your dataset you can just use pd.get_dummies function. In the parentheses, you are going to include the name of your data frame, and then you are going to include the type of data that you want to encode. In this case, we want 0 and 1, therefore I choose the integer type. And now if I access the data, you will see that for each of the category, for each categorical column, we have a new column. For instance, outlet size has now 3 columns. Outlet size small is zeros. Outlet size medium 1 and 0. Outlet size zeros and 1. Initially, outlet size was a single column and there were these 3 categories, high, medium, and small. But now we have 3 different columns and we have 1 or 0 marked in these columns based on this encoding scheme that we just discussed. So now let's just see how many new columns we have. We have 1,604 columns total in the dataset. So even one-hot encoding is a good way to convert your categorical columns to numerical columns. It leads to a lot of dimensionality in your data, which basically means you have so many columns and just becomes sometimes difficult to work with these many columns. So this is a trade-off that we see a lot in machine learning. But for now, using getDummies is a good way of converting all your categorical columns to numerical columns like this using the one-hot encoding scheme. Thank you for watching this video.